Welcome to CMRTO. In this video, we'll show you how to update your member information on your Member and Applicant Portal, or MAP account. Certain information is required from all health professionals by the Ontario Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, or the Ministry, for the Health Professions Database. As a member of the college, you are required to provide personal and professional information and keep it up to date every year, per the Regulated Health Professions Act. Personal information like your date of birth, gender, home address, email address, and home contact information need to be shared with the college under Bylaw Number 60. However, this information is always kept confidential and is not shared on the public register. To start, visit our website and click on the Sign In box at the top. This will take you to the MAP, where you'll log in using your unique username and password. From there, you'll land on your profile page where you can check your registration status. By clicking on the links to the left, you can update your information, including your home and business addresses, your member information, access your receipts or your member notices, and renew your registration. You can also view your public register to see what information is made available to the public. To update your member information, click on the Information for Ministries Health Human Resources link. If you have moved, you must update your home address within 7 days of any change in address. This information is not submitted to the Ministry, but is required by CMRTO under Bylaw Number 60 and the Regulated Health Professions Act. Start typing your address into the text box under Address, and a list of options will automatically populate. Select your address from the list, and all corresponding fields will be filled in. Then, add your home phone and/or mobile phone number. As a member, you are required to provide updated information on your places of employment within 7 days of any changes. This data will be submitted to the Ministry. To add each place of employment, click on Add New Employer. Search for your employer from the existing list in the database by clicking on the magnifying glass. If your employer is not on this list, please contact the college to have them added. Scroll down the list of options or use the search tool. You can also refine the search by using the asterisk wildcard character. When you see the name of your employer, click on the record to highlight their name and click Select. The address and phone number details will automatically populate the fields when your employer name is selected. Next, enter the date you started there. Indicate whether this is your primary place of practice, and if applicable, enter the department and telephone extension number. Next, select your employment category from the drop-down list, your full or part-time status, your primary role at this employer, and the main age range of your patients or clients. Then, identify whether you provide direct services to patients and add your main practice activity. Next, select the main area of practice where the majority of your hours are worked, and your main practice specialty at this employer from the drop-down menus provided. You can also select any other practice areas that are applicable to you. You can always go back and edit this information, or add more addresses if you work at more than one location. If your address was already entered in the system, click on the Edit My Information button to check that all fields have been completed. If you no longer work for an employer on the list, end that employment record by clicking on the Edit My Information button. Update the End Date field by selecting a date from the calendar icon. This will end the employment record and remove the employer from your list. Next, you can add all the languages in which you can provide care to patients by clicking on the Add Languages button. Enter your language in the search field, highlight that line, and click the Add button to include it on your list. To remove a language on the list, click on the arrow icon to expand the list of options and click Remove. Next, update your education information, which will be shared with the Ministry. If you completed a program in Canada, you can select the institution from the list provided. If you completed your education outside of Canada, select the Out-of-Country option from the list. If you have not completed a program inside or outside of Canada, or it's not one of the options on the list, select none of the above. Select the highest education level you have completed and your specialty in the respective fields. Add your graduation year and the country. And if your program was in Canada, the applicable province where you studied. Next, you will provide information about the highest education you have completed that is not related to the profession. Select the field of study from the list: education level, graduation year, country where you studied, and if your program was in Canada, the applicable province where you studied. Only fill in this next section if you have completed a certificate in diagnostic medical sonography. Provide the name of the issuer of the certificate and the year it was issued. If you have completed a bridging program in Canada, fill in the last section. Otherwise, leave it blank. This next information about your employment will be submitted to the ministry. Include the country where you were first employed in the profession, including the province or state, as well as the year you worked there. If you have worked in the profession outside of Canada or Ontario, indicate the country of your most recent practice, the province, territory, or state, if applicable, and the year you worked there. Otherwise, leave this section blank. Next, add the province and year when you first started working in the profession in Canada. Then, provide your current employment information. Choose the practice status that best describes your situation and your work preference from the drop-down lists. Enter the total number of weeks you have worked across all employers in the past 12 months, as well as the average number of weekly practice hours, average weekly on-call hours, and whether you practice at more than 3 sites in this profession. If you have not worked, have been on a leave, or retired in the past 12 months, leave this section blank. Include the percentage of average weekly practice hours you work in the categories that apply to you. If you do not work in a category, leave it blank. Enter these values as numbers only. Do not enter the percentage sign. Click on Next to complete the information update on your MAP account. Thank you for updating your information. If you have any questions or concerns about the data that is collected, you can review our privacy policy on our website or contact registration@cmrto.org.